Thank you for joining us again today. We have with us Kimberly Ruesch, our finance director here at Eagle Mountain City. So thank you for being with us.
Thanks, Mayor. It's always great to be with you.
So the whole budget process is a huge and cumbersome process. It's an important one, though, and there's a lot that goes on in the city. A city that's growing this fast. There's a lot to budget, a lot to project in our finances, and to stay on top of it. What are some of the things that you see as the director in this budget process that our viewers might want to know? Like, I understand we have an audit that we're just maybe coming out of at this stage. Maybe you can explain that.
Annually, every local government and government agency within the state of Utah is required to have an external audit. And what that means is that we have a finance professional, a certified public accountant that has to review the city's finances. In a nutshell, what they're doing is reviewing those, making sure that we're following proper accounting standards and that we're compliant with the state in regards to that. And it really is just checking some of those boxes that we have as a community. There's nothing super exciting about it, but it is an opportunity where we do highlight overall net asset increases to our community and the growth that we are seeing and how that's coming back for long-term infrastructure within the community.
What are some of the challenges, some of the things that you see as finance director for a city growing as rapidly as Eagle Mountain is?
It's definitely a challenge. I've been with Eagle Mountain City for a little over a year and a half, but I've been in local government for over 23 years now. And the growth is both wonderful and both very challenging at the same time. And there's not really an easy way around that. With the growth, it allows us to be able to have resources to meet the ongoing needs of our community and to take that in and turn it around to provide the roads and the day in and day out resources that we need. But the pace at which Eagle Mountain City is growing does create some unique challenges with that, and that is just simply the managing of it and the turning around of that, and that the population comes in so quickly that the projects that we need to provide some of that stuff are always trailing. So I know that that's one of the challenges. The questions that we often get is that we're growing so fast, we need more roads. Why aren't we doing more with that? And the result of that is just simply the growth comes in so quick, which we need it to bring the money with it. But one of the exciting things is in this upcoming budget, we have some major investments that are going to go into our transportation system, and that's really exciting to see.
Yeah, I've been able to observe in Eagle Mountain how each year, as we go through this budget process, how things change, how those budgets increase to take on more and more. And as you mentioned, whether it's roads or parks or who knows, of the many expenses that the city has, to be able to cover all of that and continue to provide those services to our residents at a really high level. So we don't typically get a lot of involvement from our residents in this budget cycle, other than maybe occasionally we might have people that just simply want to satisfy the need to know that their government is on the up and up and doing things properly. Could you speak to that? How can our residents be involved, and why should they? What recommendations can you offer them?
Well, I think about that for a minute. There are a few things that are built into the budget process, and that are the budget meetings that we have with the council. This year we had one in March that we covered a lot of the operational things that we plan to see coming forward in the budget. On April 12th, we'll be talking a lot about capital outlay needs and one-time spending needs within the city. These things are all going to come together to produce the tentative budget that'll go to the council in May. Then we have about 6 weeks of just meetings, 2 opportunities for public hearings. So at that fundamental level, those meetings are what are in place that the citizens can participate at any level they want. However, it seems like that really is done on a higher level. And one of the feelings that I get is that in general, citizens are concerned when they see the bottom numbers. They see these big dollars, and you see that the city might spend $70 million in a year, or you might see a huge fluctuation in a particular fund. Well, this fund, maybe we only spent 19 million, and this year we're going to spend 27 million. Those types of things can cause triggers of concern about, well, what is that all about? And one of the things that we tend to jump to first is this feeling that government in general might have levels of corruption, or that we just want more, or that the goal is to just expand government. Those fears are natural, and because those are the stories that you hear. Those are the ones that make the national news and things like that. But anytime you see things like that, what my goal always is that those things would warrant questions, that people would maybe ask about them. We're completely open about that, and the driver behind that really is this capital outlay. So from an operational standpoint, our budgets actually change fairly little. We are picking up things like personnel to keep up with the day in and day out resources and needs of the city. And beyond that type of stuff, which covers that and your inflationary growth of product and materials to be able to do those kind of things, the bulk of our budget really is capital and infrastructure. And what that means is that's where we can really identify this money that is flowing into the community. It's where Eagle Mountain City is turning around and investing that back into the community that impacts the overall quality of life. So when you see these big dollars and you see these big changes, I know that it can trigger some concerns. And so we don't ever want people to hesitate to be able to reach out. And if they want to know more details, and if they feel like those details weren't covered in any of these budget items, these meetings, or maybe they listened to it, that we are always open. Me particularly in the finance department, you might tell, I am very passionate about speaking about, the numbers and what they are. But overall, I have a real strong passion about this community as a whole, and my responsibility as a finance director to be the steward over these funds that come into us as a community. So my goal is to be able to help work with you, to work with our council, to work with the citizens, to make sure that everybody feels comfortable and knows, that at the heart of everything, it's the best interest of this community, and the things that we do are really to try to make Eagle Mountain City be this great place that we all know and love, and that people want to continue to come to and raise their kids and have these multi-generational families stay here.
It really is encouraging to know that people like you are here, serving in Eagle Mountain and helping Eagle Mountain meet all of the demands and challenges that are ahead of us. So there will be a tentative budget coming up. When can our residents expect that?
That will hit us at our first meeting in May. So it's the first regularly scheduled meeting in May. I don't recall what the date is right there, but it'll be that first Tuesday in May at the council meeting. So this will be the tentative budget. And at this process here, the council actually accepts the tentative budget. And so sometimes people get concerned because they go, what, you're accepting the budget? We haven't even talked about it, or we haven't had any of these hearings. What that acceptance is it's the council accepting the budget that's been prepared by administration based on these meetings that we've had, based on the policies that the council has in place for our community and what these growth, desires are. And that this is what, this budget committee is saying it's going to cost us to further those objectives. So that tentative budget isn't saying, hey, this is it, this is final, but that becomes the first look at the whole picture of what's coming forward. And then at that meeting, we will designate the public hearing date that will come. And then again, the community can continue to review. That information will become available on our website for residents to be able to look at and to dig into and to send us their questions.
Very good. We will look forward to it and all of the exciting changes taking place in Eagle Mountain. So Kimberly, thank you for joining us today. And we'll look forward to that tentative budget and that discussion.
Great, thanks, Mayor.
And thank you to our viewers.